Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Katelin Urgo and I am a 23-year-old writer who completed NaNoWriMo for the first time in 6 years. I just wanted to sit down, have a final debrief. If you've been watching all my vlogs, you know that I used to sit down at the very end of the day at my desk where I am right now, and I used to kind of give a little spiel about how I was feeling, about my writing, how Nano was going, and anything else that I thought was worth mentioning. So I am going to do my very last debrief, sitting down with you guys and kind of just telling you how this past month went, how November went for me. I'm going to be sharing how I managed to win and what my thoughts are on NaNoWriMo as a whole. If you're not already subscribed, then you may want to go ahead and do that. I do have a lot more fun content coming out throughout the end of the year as well as in 2021. I cannot believe that the new year is already almost here. That's kind of mind-blowing. NaNoWriMo. Let's chat. So as I said, I have tried and failed to win NaNoWriMo for 5 years before this one. I think that the main reasons of why I ended up not completing it were, number one, I had other things going on. I was a full-time student, or I had work, or whatever. It was just a lot and it was very overwhelming. I'm not the kind of person that can divide my attention to like 5 different things. So if I had school due, then school was gonna take priority, and that was that. The other reason that I think I was unable to complete the challenge is because I wasn't mentally or physically preparing for it. I would kind of just say, oh, it's November, I guess I have to write 50,000 words. And that's kind of not the right way to go about it for me personally. I definitely needed to take some time, have a plan, have some systems in place that were going to allow me to complete it without just kind of jumping in blindly. And then the last reason that I think I never was able to complete the challenge is because I'm the only writer that I know up until recently. I didn't have any writing friends. No one in my life was also an author. And plain and simple, I didn't have a support system that I could, you know, chat with at the end of the day and say, oh my god, how many words did you get? Oh my gosh, I'm behind, I want to catch up to you. I never had anything like that. So that's always difficult for me. If I don't have other people that I can chat with and relate to and kind of go through this whole journey together, then it was going to be 10 times harder for me to finish. And lo and behold, never finished. But this year, 2020, totally different year. I did not have anything else taking up my time besides writing full time. And not only that, but I had an amazing group of friends, and that includes you guys, that were pushing me and supporting me to keep going every single day, even when I would have long have quit. You guys were the ones that was like, keep going, we know you can do it. And that made all the difference in the world. I initially reached out to Kiara and Sarah and told them, hey, have you guys heard of NaNoWriMo? And they had not, and so I told them all about it, and they said, yes, we're down to do this challenge with you. And from that moment on, it made me want to complete it for the first time with them. I really was just so excited and hyped to be able to share this challenge with other people. On top of that, having you guys there behind me doing the live streams and just chatting anytime that we could in the comments or anything like that, and hearing the progress that you guys were making, and not only that, but seeing it on the Nano site. I had a writing group, which I have some things to say about the writing group on NaNoWriMo. The writing group was a little tricky on NaNoWriMo because it was really cool that I got to see how much progress people were making, and anytime someone claimed a badge, I was able to see that, and it kind of motivated me to, you know, claim some badges for myself. But I hated how I couldn't reply to you guys, and the writing group didn't really allow me to do that. It was more of like, oh, I see that so-and-so claimed this badge, that's really cool for them. But it wasn't that back and forth that I wanted, so that was a little tricky, which is why I'm so glad that the lives ended up working out, because being able to get on that live stream and have that back and forth chat with everyone and hear about your stories and your plans for after Nano and how much progress you were making and doing sprints together, like, that made a world of difference for me. And I'm so glad that we got to kind of create that little group. I loved it. for the Nano challenge itself, I struggled big time with the thought of having to reach a certain goal each day. When I've written in the past, and I mean, I completed a book in like July, my very first book, I completed it. I wrote when I felt really inspired. I wrote when I was motivated, and I didn't really feel like I had to force myself to write. And what I found about halfway through Nano is that when I feel like I'm forcing myself to write, it's just not the same quality of writing as when I can let it all come naturally. And the pressure that not Nano itself, the pressure that I put on myself to complete Nano ended up just not really working in my favor at times. And I honestly have not opened up my Scrivener document since Nano. It is currently Saturday, December 5th, and I'm trying to get this video up today, but I can safely say that I have not opened up Scrivener since then, and that's because I just know how much work is waiting for me in terms of reworking scenes, cutting scenes, adding in a bunch of like gap filler because it's so jumpy and so patchy, and it's gonna be a lot of work, and I know that it is. And right now, that's just not my main priority. I have a lot of work that I need to do for my actual book that I'm going to be publishing, so that's gonna kind of take precedence in the coming weeks. But I just know that there's a lot that I have to work on. And it's great that I have this first draft. I think I just wish that it would have been able to come a little bit more naturally instead of me trying to get back on that line, that path to success. You all know what I'm talking about. That line that'll mock you if you're not there. I think the biggest like deficit that I have of how far behind that path to success was, I was like 8,000, 9,000 words behind that path to success at one point. And I know that there's a few of you guys who were even further behind me and managed to catch up, and that is absolutely incredible. I think just trying to stay on that trajectory, it became a little bit more of trying to get words on the page and not really about my story. I feel like I was kind of losing that aspect of writing, feeling super inspired and all of that. It just became less about that and more about, have I met my word goal today? And I think in time and with practice, the more that I participate in NaNoWriMo, I think I'm going to be able to bridge that gap. This is my first time ever completing the challenge. So even though I've participated for 6 years in NaNoWriMo, this is the first time that I've been able to successfully do it. So I would still consider myself very much a newbie, and I'm still trying to figure out how to merge the idea of getting a bunch of words on the page and still having them be authentic, inspired words that I wrote and I'm happy with. That's all that is. And I think in time with practice, I'll be able to do that. And 5 years from now, when I'm doing NaNoWriMo for the, oh my God, 11th time, I think it'll be so much easier. But this year, I definitely struggled with feeling that my writing was just super subpar. Overall, when it came down to my story and my writing, switching stories was the best decision that I could have made. And I firmly believe that. I think that if I had stuck with my other story, I would not have completed the challenge, and that would have been severely disappointing. So switching stories was such a good move. I discovered that I am not a plotter, and I never would have known that if I hadn't attempted to do it this year for Nano. So knowing that information about myself and knowing that as a writer, that's just not who I am, I think that's great information, and it's good to know that. I know that when I'm a part of a writing group, I'm going to get so much more done, and writing becomes so much more fun and exciting. Writing is naturally a very solitary activity to do. It's you and it's your book. It's you and your characters, and it's you in your own head. While that's wonderful, to be able to share your writing with other people and share your progress and be able to bounce ideas off of other writers, it changes everything. It really does. I'm so glad that I was able to complete the challenge. While I didn't get to 60,000 words, which, God, can you guys believe that I said that? That was just not gonna happen. No way, no how. Maybe in future years for NaNoWriMo, once I've worked a little bit on how to find that natural motivation and creativity and merge that with hitting a daily word goal. Maybe once I've had more practice doing that, I can shoot for a higher word count, but 50 was just enough this year and I barely hit it. All right, let's talk about post NaNoWriMo. I will not be touching my book for a minute. I am going to let it sit. I'm going to take a break from it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. I'm kind of putting it in the back of my head right now because it's not my priority. My priority is getting back to work on my book, All That's Forgotten. I'm hoping to stay somewhat on track with getting that published and available for you guys. But I will be revisiting my Nano book at some point. I think once my other book is out and I'm able to kind of step away from that and focus on other things, I'm gonna jump straight into my Nano book and start working on it. And I think taking a really nice break from it is gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to come back fresh, motivated, and excited to get it to where I think it can be, which is a really great story. And I also think that I'm going to be posting that story on Wattpad. I have quite a few thoughts about Wattpad. I would be more than willing to do a live stream chatting and talking about Wattpad, or just posting your stories online. And that way we can kind of have that back and forth, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts right on the spot. Or I can do a full-length video where I chat about all of my thoughts and feelings and then we can open up that dialogue in the comments. I'm willing to do either one of those things, but as of right now, I think my story is definitely going to be posted online. I will, of course, keep you guys updated. Also, post NaNoWriMo, if there's anyone watching who wasn't following very closely along with the lives or the vlogs or anything like that, perfectly okay. I am here to tell you that the group of people that consistently came and supported me on the lives and watched all the vlogs and chatted with me and kept me going throughout this whole process, I do not want that to end. I am so beyond grateful and pleased that I was able to cultivate this little group of people and that we all just like get along and shoot the shit, and it's so fun, and I want to keep that going. So we have started a Discord server. I'll be the first to say that I'm extremely new to Discord. Like, I couldn't really tell you anything about it. I know the premise and I'm going to be really working to learn the ins and outs of it, but we've started a Discord server. There you can join. It's going to be linked below. You can join that Discord, and I'm going to be starting writing groups, critique groups, where we can send each other bits and pieces of our work back and forth and get really constructive feedback from other young authors. I am really passionate about making sure that young authors are being supported and supporting each other, and making sure that we can stay in contact and get any kind of resources that we may need from each other. I spent a long time, a very long time, I'll say from high school until literally this year, which is, oh my God, well, over 8 years. I spent 8 years of my life writing and being a writer and not being able to share that with anyone like-minded, which I don't know, maybe that's my fault for not seeking that out, but I just didn't really think of writing as a group activity, and it totally is. You can write on your own, but then to be able to take that work that you've done and share it with other people, like, that's huge. And so I'm going to be cultivating this Discord server and this group of people, and we can share our work, we can talk about writing, we can talk about publishing, we can talk about Wattpad, we can just have that community of other young like-minded people, and I am extremely excited to get that going. Bear with me because it may take a little bit for me and Kiara to kind of work through all of the details and get it exactly how we want it to be, and we're gonna definitely rely on you guys to help give us feedback and share your thoughts and ideas for the server to make it exactly what we want it to be. I'm gonna definitely be relying on you guys to help us kind of, you know, get it going. Overall, the feeling of winning NaNoWriMo for the first time and winning with friends and winning in front of you guys, with you guys there to watch me complete this milestone, was the best feeling. I had so much fun throughout this whole process. Even the times when I was stressed out and you saw me here crying about having to switch my story on day 2 and all of that, even though I did all that, it was such a fun experience, and the people that I met and the progress that I made on my book, invaluable. And I had an amazing time, and I'm gonna be doing NaNoWriMo every year until I die. I can guarantee it, because I just love doing it, and I only think it's gonna get easier from here on out, because once you win once, you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and moving forward, it's gonna be so much easier. Thank you guys for joining this journey with me. Thank you guys for supporting me every step of the way. I had a wonderful time. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. And now we're going to continue the fun, and we're going to have that Discord server. I'm gonna keep making content, and it's gonna be great. So thank you guys, as always, for supporting me. Again, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and do so. I have a bunch of fun content coming out. I'm going to attempt my very first reading vlog. I know that those are really popular, but I'm going to attempt to do one myself. I'm also going to be giving you guys more updates on my book that I'm publishing, All That's Forgotten, just more fun stuff, always. If you enjoyed today's video, then go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And also, I think it helps me out with the algorithm stuff. And even though I have less than a month to hit 300 subscribers, that's my goal. That's my end of the year goal. So if you guys can help make that happen, that would be wonderful. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I hope you have a fantastic day. Now go write something.